America wasn't built by itself. It took a lot of people. And it's still taking a lot of people. These two buildings were exactly the same back then. That was the first building where I stayed, in the far corner, on the bottom, on the floor. This was one of the rooms. There used to be about 4 to 5 people per room, but there was only one bunk bed. The longer you stay, the more privileged. Obviously, if you slept on the bottom bunk bed, then the room is yours. Everybody else is a visitor. So I slept on the floor. You know, sometimes I ended up by the dirty laundry. 5 guys working in the fields. People that live here pretty much start working in the fields, might, move back to Mexico. They don't get a chance to learn. Many do. I mean, a lot of us get a chance to move on. Well, a lot of us don't. A lot go back. I got to the States when I was 19. Half of my life I've spent in the States. When I came on 2000, made a trip. It was about a 3-day trip to the border. It wasn't until I got out of the car here in Mount Angel where I realized that I was alone. Got out of the car, look around, everybody starts going with the relatives. And there I am, holding onto the car. And I hear this voice that says, "He's coming with me." Look over and here's a friend of mine from Veracruz. He took me in, he helped me pay some debts, clothed me, gave me shelter. So at that point, I knew that I was going to make it. Then I got a job at OCDC as a custodian, Here I am, and I finished high school, and I know I could do a lot of more things, but I'm happy. As long as I was happy, I don't think the job really matters as long as you're happy. Money doesn't really matter if you're not happy. So I was happy at my job. I learned the system at OCDC, learned the procedures and whatnot. I got a job offer to be a facilities and safety technician, which I thought at the moment I was, that's crazy. How can I do that? Well, I've been doing it for 4 years now, I think 4 or 5 years, and I love it. When people show up to your centers, what is it that you do in your centers that help them feel welcome, make them feel happy, make them feel less stressed? It could be as easy as, putting something at the entrance. I'm just going to say an example for Oregon Child Development Coalition. We have a lot of families that work in the migrant fields, in the fields, and they migrate everywhere. But many times they show up to our centers, and because they have their boots dirty, or they're dirty themselves, dusty, whatever, sometimes they don't feel comfortable going into a building because they might get the building dirty. But that is their center. And what is it that we do? We help them feel comfortable. We put brushes at the entrance so they can brush their shoes and help them get in the building. It is their building. When I train, I try to be mindful of the words I use and the energy I use when I use it, because that could impact in how they perceive information. And at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and we spend a lot of time together. So the more we enjoy our time at work at OCDC, to me, it's better because we're going to be more productive at the end of the day. When you have nothing, like literally nothing, just a shirt in your bag, like they say, you're not letting your brain to think and how to get out of that situation. And many times that's what we do. We stress on things, but we're not thinking how to get out of the situation other than stressing about it. Just to know that you couldn't get a job because of the color of your skin, because of your accent, because of your name or last name, that's stressful. Many times I gave up on even applying. I knew it wasn't worth it. Not to give it a shot, but it wasn't worth it going through the stress, because I knew it was what was going to happen, or I thought I knew what was going to happen. Honestly, I see it as traumas as a minefield. We all have some traumas at some level, or some stress. We all experience the stress at some level. But it isn't until you step on it that it will blow, or somebody steps on it. Somebody triggers something, and you don't realize why something upsets you so much, or some smell upsets you so much, or a sound. Because there's something behind it, there's something hidden. But if you know where those bombs are, you'll be careful. You'll know how to manage yourself, how to care for yourself. When I'm in Mount Angel, I feel like this is where I was given the opportunity to start over.